Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. Add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce into a bowl. Pour in 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now add 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1 teaspoon of honey. Sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of paprika. 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Slowly whisk everything together until smooth, glossy, and well combined. Next, take 2 chicken breasts. Slice each chicken breast into 3 medium pieces, just like shown in the video. Let the cuts be clean and even, thick enough to stay juicy but not too large, so the marinade can soak in properly. Place the chicken into the marinade. Slowly mix everything together, gently coating every piece. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and let the chicken marinate in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. First, slice 1 zucchini into thin rounds. The moment it opens, you get that clean, watery freshness. Light, gentle, and perfect for balancing richer ingredients. Now cut those rounds into thin strips. They become soft, delicate pieces that will mix easily and cook down beautifully without making the dish feel heavy. Zucchini is rich in fiber, helping the meal feel fresher, lighter, and more balanced. Transfer the zucchini strips into a large bowl. Now, slice 2 bell peppers into thin strips. Let the bright pieces gather on the cutting board, red, yellow, or green, each one adding freshness and color before they even touch the heat. Bell peppers instantly wake up the whole bowl, bringing a crisp sweetness, a lively look, and plenty of vitamin C to support immunity. Add the strips into the bowl with the zucchini. Cut 1 onion into thin, feather-like strips. Once the layers begin to separate, that sharp, fresh aroma appears right away. Bold at first, but lie ready to turn sweet, soft, and deeply comforting as it roasts. Onion brings warmth and depth to the vegetables, helping all the flavors feel fuller and more homemade. Add the onion strips into the bowl. Now grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. The aroma appears instantly, deep, rich, unmistakable. Garlic has long been valued for supporting immunity and heart health, while adding that savory homemade depth that makes roasted vegetables taste fuller and richer. Add the garlic into the vegetables. Pour in about 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of olive oil. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of black pepper. Slowly mix everything together with your hands, making sure every vegetable becomes lightly coated in oil and seasoning. That simple tossing motion always feels comforting somehow. Colorful vegetables slowly blending together into something warm and homemade. Next, drizzle a baking dish lightly with olive oil. Use a brush to spread it evenly across the bottom and sides, making sure every corner is lightly coated. It's a small step, but it sets everything up beautifully. Transfer the vegetables into the baking dish, spreading them into an even layer. Roast the vegetables at 360 degrees Fahrenheit, or 180 degrees Celsius, for about 30 minutes until soft and fragrant. Place a few fresh sprigs of rosemary and thyme over the top. Now, take the chicken out of the fridge. Remove the plastic wrap. Now, lay 12 strips of bacon onto a board in a crisscross pattern. Using tongs, place 1 piece of chicken into the center of the bacon. Now carefully fold the bacon around the chicken, forming a tight little envelope. Heat a frying pan over medium heat and drizzle in a little olive oil. Place the chicken bundles into the hot pan and cook for about 3 minutes on each side until beautifully golden. That sizzling sound always feels irresistible. Bacon slowly crisping, chicken sealing in all its juices, the whole kitchen filling with rich, smoky aroma. Now take another baking dish. Place the browned bacon-wrapped chicken inside. Take the roasted vegetables out of the oven. Spoon the vegetables generously over the chicken, spreading them evenly across the top. The roasted peppers, onions, and zucchini already look soft, glossy, and deeply flavorful. Now grate 8 ounces, or 250 grams of cheese. As the soft shreds fall, you can already imagine that rich melted layer bubbling over the vegetables and bacon. Sprinkle the cheese generously over the casserole. Bake again at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for another 20 minutes until the cheese fully melts and turns beautifully golden on top. Now, in a small bowl, add 1/2 cup or 120 grams of Greek yogurt. 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. 1 teaspoon of mustard. Grate 1 pickled cucumber on a mini grater. As it breaks down, it releases that tangy, salty freshness that instantly makes the sauce more lively. Add the grated cucumber into the bowl. Finally, chop a bunch of parsley. The fresh green aroma appears right away, clean, herbal, and perfect for lifting the creamy sauce. Add the parsley into the bowl. Add 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef. Crack in 2 eggs. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of paprika. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And 1 tablespoon of mustard. Now, finely chop a bunch of fresh parsley. Friends, it's wonderful to know where you're watching from. Share your city and country, and US friends, tell me your state as well. As I do this, I always think of my grandmother's kitchen. She would add parsley to almost everything. It adds not only flavor, but a little brightness to every dish. Add it to the bowl. Mix everything together with your hands. Using your hands helps the ingredients blend more naturally. Just be gentle, we want it combined, not compacted. Now, in a frying pan, add a little vegetable oil. Melt 1/4 of a stick or 30 grams of butter. Once melted, finely chop 1 onion. I love using onion in so many dishes. It's full of antioxidants and nutrients that support heart health. digestion, and even help reduce inflammation. It's one of those ingredients that's been used in family kitchens for generations. I still remember the sound of onions sizzling in my grandmother's cast iron pan. That smell always meant something delicious was coming. Friends, for more content like this, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any new recipes. Add it in and let it soften gently. As the onion cooks, it releases a sweet aroma and melts into the base of the dish. It's the foundation of flavor. Next, finely chop 1 bell pepper. Did you know that bell peppers are full of vitamin C, even more than oranges? They're also rich in antioxidants, like beta-carotene and lycopene. They help support immune health and add a burst of color that makes any dish more inviting. I love how their sweetness comes through when they're sautéed. Add it to the pan and stir until well combined. Now chop 1 carrot. I always enjoy this part. The bright orange color reminds me of cooking with my mother as a child, especially in the fall when carrots were fresh from the garden. Carrots bring gentle sweetness, and they're packed with beta-carotene, which our bodies convert into vitamin A, great for vision, skin, and the immune system. Add it to the pan and cook everything together for another few minutes. Once the vegetables are softened, add them to the bowl with the ground beef mixture. Then add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. The flour helps bind everything together so the patties hold their shape when baked, especially important when we're adding sautéed vegetables. Mix everything well with a spoon. I always find this part peaceful, slowly folding the ingredients together and watching the mixture come to life. You'll see it go from loose and separate to something cohesive and full of color. It's a quiet but satisfying step, and it reminds me of how my mother always said, "Good food comes from taking your time." Now, in a pot, pour in water. Gently place 2 eggs. Bring it to a boil and cook for 7 to 10 minutes. Once cooked, cool them under cold water and peel them. Grate the boiled eggs on a medium grater. Boiled eggs add a creamy, delicate texture and a mild, comforting flavor. They're also a great source of protein, vitamin D, and healthy fats. Grating them makes the mixture more uniform and helps everything blend smoothly. No large chunks, just gentle richness in every bite. Transfer to a bowl. Then grate 3 ounces or 100 grams of cheese, any semi-hard cheese you like. As I grate the cheese, I always think of my childhood, standing on a little stool in the kitchen, helping my mom with the grater while she prepared dinner. The smell of fresh cheese always meant something warm and homemade was coming soon. Add it to the same bowl. Now grate 1 to 2 cloves of garlic using a mini grater. Grating garlic brings out more flavor and helps it mix evenly without leaving strong chunks. Add it to the egg and cheese. Add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. One teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of pepper. Mix everything well. The mixture should be creamy but hold its shape. Now, on a sheet of parchment paper, shape the meat mixture into a rectangle about 1/2 inch thick. This part always brings back memories of family dinners, when shaping food by hand felt like crafting something special. I remember watching my grandmother do this with such care, making sure every corner was just right. Spread the egg and cheese mixture evenly over the top. Now, thinly slice 1 pickled cucumber. Lay the slices down the center of the filling. Carefully roll the meat around the filling, like a large cutlet. Use the parchment paper to help shape it without breaking. It's simple, but there's something calming about it, like you're putting a bit of love into every step. Take a baking dish and brush the bottom with a little vegetable oil. This helps prevent sticking and adds just a bit of crispness to the base. Place the meat rolls in the baking dish. Bake at 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. While that bakes, in a pot, add 3 peeled potatoes. Cover with water. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Cover with a lid and boil for 15 minutes or until soft. While the potatoes are cooking, finely chop 3 mushrooms. Mushrooms add a savory depth and blend beautifully with the creamy texture of potatoes. They're naturally rich in umami, that deep earthy flavor that makes dishes feel hearty and satisfying. Mushrooms are also a good source of B vitamins and minerals like selenium, which support the immune system. In a frying pan, melt 1/4 of a stick or 30 grams of butter. Add the mushrooms and sauté until golden and soft. When they sautéed in butter, they develop a golden color and a slightly nutty aroma that makes the mashed potatoes feel even more special. Once the potatoes are ready, drain and transfer them to a large bowl. Mash them until smooth. Add the sautéed mushrooms. Now grate 60 grams of Parmesan. Add it to the potatoes. Finely chop a bunch of green onions and add them in too. Mix everything together. The warmth of the potatoes melts the cheese slightly, and the green onion adds a fresh, gentle bite. In a small bowl, mix 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 20 milliliters of soy sauce, ½ tablespoon of mustard. Stir until smooth. Take the baking dish out of the oven. Brush the sauce over the top of the meat rolls. Then sprinkle with a little soft cheese. Place back in the oven for another 10 minutes. When it's done, take it out of the oven and let it rest for just a few minutes. The aromas filling the kitchen will tell you it's worth the wait. Then gently transfer the rolls to a plate. Add a generous scoop of the creamy mushroom mashed potatoes and take a moment to admire what you've made. The golden crust, the melted cheese, the steam rising from the soft filling. It's the kind of meal that feels like a hug on a plate. Thank you so much for cooking with me today. I hope this recipe brings as much warmth and joy to your home as it does to mine. Until next time, happy cooking!